Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, The Life of MJ. Today I'm doing a really fun story time. The topic is something that I hold very near and dear to my heart, and it might actually persuade you to do the same thing that I did. I'm going to be talking about my cat Romeo and the process that it took to adopt him. I'm also going to be talking about little fun facts about Romeo and what life is like with such a special little boy. There's fucking hair in my nose. It's driving me bonkers. So, I got my cat in August 2018. It was shortly after my grandma suddenly passed away from cancer. So I was going through a really hard time and I was living by myself. So I decided to just go to a pet shelter in Ottawa with my boyfriend. I just wanted to just go get some animal therapy, I guess. So we drove up to Ottawa and went to an animal shelter. We looked at all the dogs and we went into every single room that had cat cages in it and just looked at all of the cats and said hi to them and looked at all their names and their ages and the little blurbs that are right beside the cage that they're in about them and where they came from. In the very, very last room that we saw with cats in it, we went in and I remember Romeo was in the top left cage against the wall, and I looked in and he looked up at me with his really cute little eyes. As soon as I made eye contact with him, my heart melted and I just instantly felt a connection with him. So I opened his cage and he was very, very shy at first, so it took a little bit of convincing to get him to come out and see me. The closer that I got with him though, the more details that I noticed about him. He has winged eyeliner, and that was something that drew me towards him too, because he has these little black lines right beside his eyes, and one of my makeup trademarks is eyeliner. I've been wearing eyeliner for as long as I can remember. So that was super cool about him. I was like, okay, this cat is kind of meant to be mine, you know? So then eventually he let me pick him up and he started purring instantly, and me and my boyfriend were petting him and it was just super, super special. And I looked down and noticed that he has a nub for a tail. I don't know how he lost it, but it's about this big and it wags like this, and it's literally just so cute. It's one of the most common questions that I get about Romeo actually is,
oh, how did your cat lose his tail?
Personally, I don't know, because he was 6 months old when the shelter brought him in and he was a stray cat. They told me that they found him on the side of the highway, which breaks my heart. I fell in love with him. I said, this cat is mine now, we're gonna go tell the front desk that we want to adopt him. So that's exactly what we did, and we went up and I said, how do I adopt one of the cats? And I brought them back and told them that this was the cat that I wanted, and the adoption process was very easy. You had to fill out some paperwork, obviously with proof of income, making sure that you can actually take care of this cat, if you've had pets before, if you have children in the house, and if you have any other pets, which I didn't. So it was very easy for me to get Romeo because I met all of the qualifications. He was actually part of a Foster Me First program because he recently got neutered when they brought him into the shelter, and he had a little scratch on his nose that they were treating with this topical lotion, and I had to bring him back to Ottawa about 3 times for his vet appointments at the shelter, which I also didn't have to pay for, and they gave me an endless amount of food for him that I didn't have to pay for. I just had to pay the adoption fee at the end, which was just over $200. So in consideration, all of that for $200, it is much less expensive to adopt a cat than to pick one up from Marketplace or something like that. I'm not saying that it's wrong to pick up from Marketplace, I'm just saying that I really enjoyed the adoption process because of how easy it was. So after I got to bring him home, he was very, very nervous when we first brought him home, as any cat would be. He warmed up in just about 2 weeks. It took him to kind of get used to the place, and he started to trust me more because I was very gentle with the process.
Whoa!
And honestly, I couldn't picture my life without Romeo now at all. I don't know if anybody believes in like pet soulmates, and I feel like Romeo and I were meant to be best buddies because he is so funny and he has so much personality.
Everybody say, well!
And he is so comforting to me. He doesn't really like to cuddle, so he likes to sit right beside me and he likes to be touching, but he's not much of a lap cat. Life with a cat is very different than life with a dog. Obviously, they're two completely different animals. I find that Romeo has a lot of personality traits that a dog might have. He comes when he's called. Watch. Romeo! Ro! Ro! There he is. Come here, Ro. Come here. Come here. He's playing hard to get. I'm gonna have to go pick him up 1 second. So this is Romeo. He's my very special boy. As you can see, he has a white triangle on his face and he has a big white belly. He's all white underneath with very white pristine paws, and he has like a gray tabby on the top. So I thought that his pattern was very interesting. As you can see, he doesn't really like to be held, so I'm not going to hold him for that long, but I'm just going to show you his details. So this is his back. He has a little white patch. And then last but not least, look at that tail. Look at this tail. It is so sweet. So this is Ro, and he is a very, very special boy. Oh, thank you. He is very well trained. I barely even had to train him to use a litter box. He is very good at letting me cut his nails, which a lot of cats aren't. Overall, Romeo is just a very, very sweet boy, and I highly, highly recommend adopting cats over buying them brand new. I think that adopting a cat is a very, very special experience, and it gives you a bond with a cat that is undescribable because they look at you as their rescuer. If you treat your cat right, and if you have the right environment for your cat and you are able to spend lots of time with your cat, they're very low maintenance, but they are still very affectionate and needy. I know Romeo is anyway. So if you have the time and the money and motivation to get a cat, I highly recommend it. Romeo just stole my heart instantly, and he is probably the best cat that I will ever have. Okay, so that concludes today's story time. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you're looking into getting a cat, I hope this kind of swayed your decision into doing so. I hope that you guys are all staying safe. make sure to follow my Instagram, The Life of MJ, and be sure to like and subscribe. I post every Monday around 8 to 9 p.m. Hope to see you then. Thanks for watching.